My name's Aurum. I was the one who brought out the box containing the golden cloud toad. I was told to move something, and I did. I had no knowledge of the presence of an ingenium. This matter has nothing to do with me. I'm a dock worker, after all. How could I conspire with the IPC? My name's Aurum.
I didn't see any boxes, only the golden cloud toad.
If goods need to be inspected, we remove the packaging ahead of time. You wouldn't want to do all that work yourself, would you? My name's Aurum. I was the one who brought out the box containing the golden cloud toad. I was told to move something, and I did. I had no knowledge of the presence of an ingenium. This matter has nothing to do with me.
Why do you emphasize that this matter has nothing to do with you?
I just want to avoid any misunderstanding, in case anyone has it in their head that I intentionally misplaced an item.
I sense a hole in his logic.
I was told to move something, and I did. I had no knowledge of the presence of an ingenium. This matter has nothing to do with me. I'm a dock worker, after all. How could I conspire with the IPC?
Does being a dock worker mean that person can't conspire with the IPC?
Everyone knows the IPC wants to use the dock debt to discredit the Merchant Guild. The Merchant Guild are the ones who gave me a job, not the IPC. Why would I side with them?
I sense a hole in his logic.
I'm a dock worker, after all. How could I conspire with the IPC? My name's Aurum. I was the one who brought out the box containing the golden cloud toad.
Take a look at this.
This has nothing to do with the topic at hand. My name's Aurum. I was the one who brought out the box containing the golden cloud toad.
Take a look at this.
This has nothing to do with the topic at hand. My name's Aurum. I was the one who brought out the box containing the golden cloud toad. I was told to move something, and I did. I had no knowledge of the presence of an ingenium. This matter has nothing to do with me.
I think this has a lot to do with you.
Records from Heron Express show that this container was sent by a person named Afeng. What do you have to say about that?
That must be some kind of mistake.
The IPC specially leased operations of the dock to Aurum Alley Merchant Guild in the hopes of seeking common interest and development.
Why couldn't the IPC operate the dock from the beginning?
Oh, are you implying that the IPC was setting a trap for the Merchant Guild? You're saying the IPC leased the dock to the Merchant Guild, who mismanaged it, in order to destroy the Merchant Guild's credibility?
That was definitely your plan all along.
Ah, so you admit the Merchant Guild mismanaged the dock.
This guy!
The IPC specially leased operations of the dock to Aurum Alley Merchant Guild in the hopes of seeking common interest, and the Merchant Guild refused to cooperate with the major shops in Aurum Alley, and the once prosperous dock is now desolate.
The Merchant Guild has never refused to work with any shops in Aurum Alley.
Never refused? Then let me ask you, how many shops are currently in your logistics network?
There will be a lot more later.
Later? How much later? For the Xianzhou, does later mean 500 years? Can the shop owners here wait that long?
10 years, 20 years, What should I say? Is 20 about right?
But the Merchant Guild refused to cooperate with the major shops in Aurum Alley, and the once prosperous dock is now desolate. The inefficient shipping and low volume of transactions at the Aurum Alley dock, which does not create any value at all, are clear evidence of poor management.
The dock has improved shipping efficiency and transaction volume is increasing.
Ah, you guys didn't think that this transaction volume would be enough, did you? The shopkeepers in Aurum Alley aren't here to play house with you. We're all trying to turn a profit. The inefficient shipping and low volume of transactions at the Aurum Alley dock, which does not create any value at all, are clear evidence of poor management. Coupled with the Merchant Guild's inability to pay the rent, we believe the guild should voluntarily relinquish operating rights to the dock and pay additional compensation.
What makes you think we can't afford to pay the lease?
If you have the necessary funds, prove it. Coupled with the Merchant Guild's inability to pay the rent, we believe the guild should voluntarily relinquish operating rights to the dock and pay additional compensation. The IPC specially leased operations of the dock to Aurum Alley Merchant Guild in the hopes of seeking common interest and development. But the Merchant Guild refused to cooperate with the major shops in Aurum Alley, and the once prosperous dock is now desolate. The inefficient shipping and low volume of transactions at the Aurum Alley dock, which does not create, coupled with the Merchant Guild's inability to pay the rent, we believe the guild should voluntarily relinquish operating rights to the dock and pay additional compensation.
We've already paid back the lease.
These are the funds from Aurum Alley Merchant Guild. The guild has turned a profit and is able to pay back what it owes.
What? You already paid back the lease? How?
The documentation provided by Aurum Alley Merchant Guild is true and credible. And according to the lease contract between the two parties, the Merchant Guild still holds the rights to operate the dock. Next order of business. The Merchant Guild has accused Representative Scott of secretly sabotaging dock operations. Do you have anything to say about that?
Don't be so slanderous! Why would I stoop so low? What do the frequent accidents at this dock have to do with me?
How did you know about the frequent accidents at the dock?
I use the shipping services too, you know. Do you have any idea how often my packages are damaged in transit?
Don't feign ignorance. Isn't that all by your own design?
Don't be so slanderous! Why would I stoop so low? What do the frequent accidents at this dock have to do with me? Besides, I'm not even involved in shipping operations. How could I possibly buy off a dock worker? The absurdity!
Is it possible that you paid off a dock worker to do your bidding?
Ah, the empty rhetoric! Let's see some evidence!
Do we have any proof?
Besides, I'm not even involved in shipping operations. How could I possibly buy off a dock worker? The absurdity!
We have the testimony of Ah Feng.
This testimony is concrete proof that you instructed him to sabotage shipments.
What? That little... Aren't the Xianzhou people always preaching about righteousness? Oh, I gave him all that money! And he sold me out in a heartbeat! Darn it!
I can tell that the opposing side is eager to see Aurum Alley thrive. Your passion resonates with me.
Since we share the same passion, where is it that we disagree?
The prosperity under your proposal means diminishing the alley's tradition and personality. We can afford neither. I can tell that the opposing side is eager to see Aurum Alley thrive. Your passion resonates with me. The IPC plans to turn the alley into a logistics hub. You are practically thinking the same.
Our proposal is different from the IPC's.
That's right. The IPC will close down Artistry Hardware if they take over. We would never do that. We protect businesses. The IPC sacrifices them for their own gain.
Protect? Sacrifice? I find that humans rarely understand these concepts correctly. The outcome is what truly matters. Once the alley is turned into a logistics hub, shops like Artistry Hardware won't be able to sustain themselves, regardless of what the IPC does.
He is convinced that the IPC and us are the same.
The IPC plans to turn the alley into a logistics hub. You are practically thinking the same. The reality is, overdevelopment can only adversely impact customer experience, making the alley less appealing.
Do you have data to support your statements?
Historical data has proved my point. It is the reality, not rhetoric, that matters.
I sense a hole in his logic.
The reality is, overdevelopment can only adversely impact customer experience, making the alley less appealing.
Take a look at this.
What am I looking at? Please don't waste our time. The reality is, overdevelopment can only adversely impact.
There are actually more customers coming to the alley.
This record reflects the change in Artistry Hardware's turnover and the increase in customers since it partnered with the dock.
The shop does better than it used to. Impossible. You must be bluffing.
You know Ming-Shi better than I do. Would she deceive you with fake data?
The sample size is too small. I'm not convinced.
If I were you, Mr. President, I would think of ways to translate the success of that one sample into something that can benefit everyone. A guild that doesn't proactively help businesses has no reason to exist.
You have not witnessed what I have seen, so you fail to understand my insistence.
You can't just rely on your age and experience.
There are many things that only time can tell, young one. You have not witnessed what I have seen. The old Aurum Alley achieved a commercial miracle that has not yet been replicated. It did so by following my way of doing things.
Are you suggesting that the alley is a shadow of its former self?
That is correct. The number of customers visiting the shops was 10 times what it is today. The alley was alive and was credited as the best night market on the Lafu. Things were better in the old days. Of that, I am certain.
I sense a hole in his logic.
The old Aurum Alley achieved a commercial miracle that has not yet been replicated. It did so by following.
You've been looking at the past through rose-tinted glasses.
In the golden era you described, the old Aurum Alley had a trading volume similar to today.
You included the delivery side cranes in your math.
We did. So what?
You can't draw simple parallels between then and now using absolute numbers. The trading volume you mentioned may not look impressive today, but it was huge relative to... I see what you are saying. While criticizing you for making flawed comparisons, I myself also made the mistake of believing that what worked in the past could be copied to serve the present.
Mr. President, The way I see it, you shouldn't regard the alley as a souvenir from the past. Aurum Alley should embrace change, as its residents do.
It seems we have reached an agreement. The hearing concludes here.
Members of Aurum Alley Merchant Guild, I hope you're all keeping well.
And if we're not?
No need to be quite so aggressive. Members of Aurum Alley Merchant Guild, by utilizing the dock, the guild managed to repay outstanding rents and also raised sufficient funding to stand at the bidding. That just goes to show how vital the dock is.
We did much more than simply utilize the dock.
But you don't deny that the dock was vital to your operations, correct? Your partnership with the shop owners and the increase in cargo handling capacity. None of it would have been possible without the dock.
Wrong. None of it would have been possible without winning the hearts of local businesses.
Well said, Sushang.
I think you understand my point. By utilizing that, the IPC seeks to unleash the full potential of the dock, taking full advantage of its role as a logistics center, thus transforming Aurum Alley into one of the most advanced commercial ports in the galaxy.
How are interastral cargo ships supposed to dock? There isn't enough room.
To address this, most of the shops will need to be relocated. The IPC will redesign the layout of the whole area to make sure ships can move in and out smoothly. We expect at least the same trading volume as Cloudford. Rest assured, all the shops that need relocating will receive generous compensation from the IPC. The package we've prepared will make everyone happy.
Classic IPC.
The IPC seeks to unleash the full potential of the dock, taking full advantage of its role as a logistics center, thus transforming Aurum. And that, honorable ladies and gentlemen, is the rejuvenation that everyone has been hoping for.
How can you be sure that everyone's vision aligns with yours?
I was using a figure of speech, but our vision of rejuvenation will benefit the majority.
Shouldn't you gather people's opinions first?
Do we have any proof?
And that, honorable ladies and gentlemen, is the rejuvenation that everyone has been hoping for.
The shops think otherwise.
According to the poll we conducted earlier with business owners, most of them have already partnered with the Merchant Guild and wish to preserve their current business model. Artistry Hardware is among the shops that registered this answer.
Father has never been the shrewdest when it comes to business matters. I'm afraid his opinions don't constitute the most valuable insights. In agreeing with your approach, those shops may risk missing the bigger picture and opportunities for future growth.
Ming-Shi, please share with us what the guild has in mind.
As Xiao Han mentioned, the IPC sees the dock as the most valuable asset the alley has to offer. But for us, the local shops are what makes the alley special. The guild serves the sole purpose of helping local businesses. We will help the alley reclaim the title of the best night market on the La Fu.
Best night market on the La Fu? With the IPC's funding pouring in, hundreds of commercial centers will sprout. Why would people come to Aurum Alley when they have so many other options? Nobody cares about that title anymore.
Say what you want, but we care.
What makes you so determined to hold on to this idea of a food street? Why can't the revival of the alley take on other forms?
Because people want it to retain its food street. We have proof of that.
Do we have any proof?
Best night market on the La Fu? With the IPC's funding pouring in.
When people think of Aurum Alley, they think about its food. The two notions can't be separated.
We organized a crossover between the Merchant Guild and Spices Supreme. By sending out coupons and gifts, we attracted twice as many customers as we normally would. This shows that food is still a big reason why people visit the alley.
The revival you envision involves throwing pots of money into building a port while forcing away most local businesses. Wouldn't that erase the very identity of the alley? Our approach protects the people who made the alley what it is today.
That concludes our discussion. We will inform all participants of the result when a decision has been made. Thank you all for coming.